When it comes to the world of horror, two names that resonate with terror are Jason Voorhees and Pennywise. Jason, the relentless undead killer from Friday the 13th, and Pennywise, the shape-shifting demonic entity from It, are both masters of fear, but in very different ways. While Jason is a physical brute with supernatural endurance, Pennywise preys on psychological fear and can manipulate reality itself. But the question stands, if these two legends were to face off, who would come out victorious? In this ultimate showdown of horror titans, we'll dive into their powers, weaknesses, and fighting styles to determine who would win this battle of nightmares. Jason Voorhees, the immortal slayer. Voorhees is the embodiment of pure, unstoppable force. Born with a tragic backstory, he drowned as a child due to the negligence of the camp counselors at Camp Crystal Lake. Rising from the dead, he has spent decades hunting and killing anyone who dares to step foot in his territory. Jason is not just a mindless killer. He's a relentless predator with an almost supernatural ability to track and hunt his victims. One of Jason's greatest assets is his immortality. He has been shot, stabbed, burned, electrocuted, and even drowned again. But he always comes back. His strength is unmatched, capable of tearing through walls and bending metal with his bare hands. Jason's resilience is terrifying. No matter how many times he's killed, he never stays dead for long. This makes him a formidable opponent, especially in a one-on-one confrontation where sheer brutality matters. Jason's machete is an extension of his will, a weapon he wields with deadly precision. But his true weapon is fear. He doesn't talk, doesn't negotiate, he just kills. Pennywise, the master of fear and manipulation. On the other hand, Pennywise, also known as It, is a much more complex creature. Pennywise is a shape-shifting entity that feeds on fear, often appearing in the form of a clown to lure children. His true power lies in his ability to manipulate the minds of his victims, making them see their worst fears come to life. Pennywise thrives on psychological terror, weakening his prey before he strikes. But he's not limited to fear alone. He has powers that bend reality itself. Pennywise can shapeshift into anything that frightens his victim the most, giving him a psychological edge in combat. Additionally, his powers allow him to teleport, regenerate, and even manipulate time and space. In It, Pennywise was nearly impossible to kill due to his ability to exist in a dimension beyond human understanding. His true form isn't even the clown we see. It's a terrifying cosmic being that preys on fear. This gives Pennywise an edge in manipulation and mind games, making him a far more cerebral opponent than Jason. However, Pennywise has one major weakness. He can only be truly harmed by someone who isn't afraid of him. Strengths and weaknesses. Who has the edge? When comparing Jason Voorhees and Pennywise, it's clear they both bring very different strengths to the table. Jason is a physical powerhouse, nearly indestructible, and capable of taking on anyone in a brutal fight. His strength and endurance make him a terror in close-quarters combat. However, Jason's simplicity can be a disadvantage. He doesn't strategize or use tactics. He relies purely on his overwhelming force and his ability to instill fear through his presence alone. Pennywise, on the other hand, excels at mind games. His ability to manipulate reality and exploit his opponent's fears gives him a huge advantage against those who are vulnerable to terror. While Pennywise isn't as physically strong as Jason, his intelligence and cunning allow him to trap and psychologically torture his victims. But if someone can overcome their fear, Pennywise becomes much weaker, as seen in his confrontations with the children of Derry. This presents an interesting dynamic. Jason's lack of fear could make him immune to Pennywise's psychological tricks. However, Jason's simple-mindedness may also make him more susceptible to Pennywise's illusions. If Pennywise can manipulate Jason into believing he's already won or lead him into a trap, he could gain the upper hand. But in a straight fight, where physical power matters most, Jason's brute strength could overpower Pennywise's illusions. Final battle, who would win? In the ultimate showdown, Jason Voorhees and Pennywise face off in the dark, eerie streets of Derry. Jason, driven by pure instinct, charges at Pennywise with his machete. Pennywise, grinning maniacally, transforms into all of Jason's past victims, hoping to disorient him. But Jason is unfazed. He swings his machete with deadly force, cutting through the illusions with ease. Pennywise quickly changes tactics, warping the environment around Jason, making it seem as though the walls are closing in. He conjures a pit of fire beneath Jason's feet, but Jason leaps forward, his cold, unfeeling eyes locked on Pennywise. Realizing that Jason cannot be mentally broken, Pennywise transforms into a massive, grotesque creature, attacking with claws and fangs. But Jason, with his indomitable strength, grabs Pennywise, pulling him down and striking blow after blow with his machete. Ultimately, the fight comes down to one thing: fear. As Jason looks into Pennywise's deadlights, the cosmic horror tries to overpower him. But Jason, devoid of human emotion, doesn't flinch. He raises his machete for the final strike. Pennywise, weakened by his inability to scare Jason, is vulnerable. Jason delivers the final fatal blow, and Pennywise dissolves into nothingness. Final result: Jason Voorhees wins. His sheer power, immunity to fear, and unstoppable force prove too much for Pennywise's tricks and manipulation. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to What's on Hollywood for more epic battles and in-depth analyses of your favorite characters.